Hi folks, and welcome to our video series on performance management. Right now we're still discussing the third step in the performance management process. So we began this in our class, but we're going to continue this and we're going to look at formal appraisal discussions. So who are the parties that are part of this formal appraisal discussion? Well, usually it's you, the employee, and the supervisor. And what you guys do when you sit down is you'll review your appraisal and you'll come up with a plan to fix any deficiencies and reinforce your strengths. So give you an opportunity to practice on things that you're really doing well so you can get better at them, and an opportunity to fix things that maybe aren't going so well for you in the job, right? So the types of interviews that we might have, obviously, if you're going to have a performance review with one of your staff members as a budding manager that you are, I'm sure, all wanting to be, or supervisors or whatever, right? You're probably going to be sitting down one day with your employees and you're going to have some fabulous people working for you. So you might rate them as satisfactory and that they're promotable. Okay, now people may be promotable, but there needs to realistically be opportunities for them. So it doesn't mean that that they can't be. If they're ranked as promotable, you have to give them an idea of what they could be promotable to and start putting some development plans in place so that they are ready when that opportunity comes up. If there is an opportunity that you know is coming up in a year or 6 months from now, whatever, then you want to make sure those development plans are in place now so the employee has a realistic opportunity to get a shot at that job, right? Now, sometimes we have to talk to people whose performance is satisfactory, but they're not promotable. So we might say that they're not promotable because maybe there's no opportunities available for them right now, and sometimes employees might like it where they are. They love the job they're doing. They really don't want to change. They don't mind necessarily if the job has changed a little bit, but they don't want to be promoted and take on extra responsibilities. And you know, some people don't even want to manage other people or supervise people. They just rather do their job, work with their peers or with their boss, but they don't really want a supervisory component to it. So we want to work on plans that are going to help them get better at any new responsibilities they might take on, but also maintain their level of performance. And here's where the challenges come. Sometimes we have some people who might be unsatisfactory, but the good news is, you know, maybe they're unsatisfactory because they're newer in the job, or maybe they had a misunderstanding about what they should be doing in the job, but their actions are correctable. So we can put a plan in place to help correct some of their performance issues, right? Now, when we're conducting the performance interview, it's very important that we know to be, as the boss, be direct and be specific. So we have to be able to tell the employee exactly what it is that isn't working out and what it is they need to do differently or better. And we have to be able to prove our case. So we just can't say, well, you know, you didn't make your sales target. We have to be able to prove it. We have to be able to show them they didn't make it. Your sales target was, you know, 100,000 units and you only sold 75,000, right? We don't get personal. So we can't compare them against, other people necessarily. It's not a good idea to do that. We shouldn't get personal with them, meaning that we should only compare them against a standard. So, for example, if our standard was, or our goal was to meet 100,000 units in sales and you only sold 75,000, then that's the standard we're comparing to, 100,000. So we know there's a gap of 25,000 units. So what are we going to do next time? So the important thing to do as the boss is to encourage the person to talk to you. So use open-ended questions and listen. One of the things that I found very valuable with bosses that I've had is they'll say, you know, this is what I'm seeing. This is the data. And one of my bosses would just say, tell me what you know about that, or tell me why this happened. So using an open-ended question where I'm talking and describing and the boss is listening. And again, once that happens, your boss gets a better sense of where you're coming from, and together you can develop an action plan to correct or to figure out how we're going to sell an extra 25,000 units and meet the plan. And we have to agree on how we're going to do that. So this concludes our first part on conducting the performance interview.